Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, let's jump right in. We're tackling a massive question today, one that is literally shaking the foundations of research. Is the traditional scientific method dead? Or is AI just forcing it to evolve into something way more powerful? Today, we're going to explore exactly how AI is transforming the way we discover the very laws of nature. Now, to understand how we got here, we kind of have to look back at a pretty bold claim. Picture this. It's 2008, and Wired magazine famously declares, "The data deluge makes the scientific method obsolete." That perfectly captures the prevailing myth of the early internet era, right? The thought was, hey, if you just have massive data sets, you don't even need human scientific understanding anymore. Data alone, people thought, would just give us all the answers and replace human insight entirely.
But before we go throwing out hundreds of years of scientific progress, let's look at Section 1, the old scientific method.
Classical hypothesis-driven science has pretty much always operated in a very specific, logical way. We observe nature, we form a theory, and then we make testable, causal predictions. It's an elegant, human-driven approach to understanding how the world actually works under the hood. There's a famous physics joke that perfectly illustrates this, called the spherical cow. Basically, imagine a physicist trying to calculate the probability of a cow being struck by lightning. The real world is messy, right? So to make the math work, the physicist says, first, let's approximate the cow as a perfect sphere. It's funny, but the crucial point is that human intelligence builds deep understanding by simplifying reality into highly tractable mathematical equations. We reduce the complexity so we can actually reason about it. But unfortunately, this beautiful method really struggles to scale up when we're dealing with incredibly complex systems, like global climate patterns or billions of interacting proteins.
And that brings us to a foundational mindset in traditional science. As the famous statistician George Box put it, all models are wrong, but some are useful. That brilliantly illustrates the idea that our human-made theoretical models, like our spherical cow, are mathematically imperfect, for sure, but they are absolutely crucial for reasoning. We need those models to grasp the mechanics of reality, even if they don't capture every single tiny detail.
But then, the era of big data arrived, and we saw a major ideological clash emerge. Technologist Peter Norvig famously countered Box's idea by saying, "All models are wrong, and increasingly you can succeed without them." This was a seismic shift. It's an attitude that basically suggested we could give up on understanding the deep, underlying mechanisms of reality, throw away our carefully crafted models, and just let black box algorithms handle the whole shebang.
Which leads us right into Section 2, the big data disruption. With the rapid rise of machine learning and neural networks, computer scientists proved that massive data sets could yield incredible predictions without the computer actually knowing a single thing about physics, biology, or chemistry. The algorithms were just blind pattern-matching engines working at unbelievable speeds. So you can see a massive tension here. On one side, human intelligence gives us interpretable mechanisms. It's hypothesis-driven, relies on deep expert knowledge, but it is slow and labor-intensive. On the other side, early big data AI uses black box algorithms. It's purely data-driven, ignores expert knowledge entirely, but it is unbelievably fast. So we have a serious clash between slow, deep scientific understanding and blazing fast, blind statistical prediction.
But here's where that ideology hits a massive brick wall. Section 3. Why data isn't enough. The fatal flaw in relying purely on big data is that correlation does not equal causation. An algorithm might notice that two things happen at the same time in a dataset, but it fundamentally doesn't know why they happen. Let's look at a real-world example from agriculture. Researchers trained an AI to predict nitrogen emissions from soil on a specific type of farm, and it was highly accurate. But when they took that exact same AI and deployed it on a totally new farm with a corn, soybean, wheat rotation, its accuracy plummeted to a dismal 38%. It completely failed. Why? Because it didn't understand the underlying biology. It had only memorized the superficial patterns of that very first farm's data. To really grasp what AI is missing here, we move to Section 4, the ladder of causality.
This is a brilliant framework developed by the renowned computer scientist Judea Pearl, and it explains exactly what these AI black boxes lack in their quest for deep scientific understanding. Let's break this ladder down step by step. Step 1 is association, just seeing patterns in data. Pure AI is absolutely amazing at this, but true science requires climbing higher. Step 2 is intervention, doing actions, like asking, what happens if I raise the temperature? And step 3 is counterfactuals, imagining alternative outcomes, asking things like, what would have happened if I had used a completely different chemical? Pure, data-driven AI gets entirely stuck on step 1. It absolutely cannot climb to steps 2 and 3 without human-driven theory to guide it.
So how do we fix this bottleneck? Welcome to Section 5, Science's Fifth Paradigm.
To understand this thrilling synthesis, let's map the historical evolution of science. What if we could combine the causal constraints and deep understanding of human-built science with the blazing computational speed of deep learning? First, we had empirical science, simply observing the world. Then, theoretical science, writing equations like Newton or Einstein. Third, computational science, building computer simulators. Fourth was the data-intensive era we just talked about, big data. And now we have arrived at the ultimate fifth paradigm, AI for science. This new era actually recenters expert human theory and pairs it perfectly with massive, modern computing power.
And this builds right into our final concept, Section 6, the computational microscope. Instead of just feeding an AI raw blind datasets, scientists are now doing something incredible. They're training AI models on traditional, human-built scientific simulators. Effectively, they're transferring the complex causal laws of physics and chemistry directly into a lightning-fast neural network. The AI learns the actual rules of reality. So, what does this look like out in the world? Well, here's the fifth paradigm in action. First, scientists are using this method to control incredibly unstable, high-temperature plasma inside nuclear fusion reactors, a huge step for clean energy. Second, they're generating entirely new proteins designed to perfectly bind to insulin, a breakthrough that just won a Nobel Prize in chemistry. And third, they're turbocharging numerical weather forecasting, making complex climate predictions tens of thousands of times faster than traditional supercomputers. This computational microscope is rapidly accelerating our ability to tackle grand, previously impossible challenges at an unprecedented scale.
But as the renowned physicist Freeman Dyson noted, the effect of a tool-driven revolution is to discover new things that have yet to be explained. This reminds us that while AI is an incredibly powerful tool for accelerating exploration, the ultimate goal of science remains human understanding. The AI isn't operating in a vacuum here. The expert scientist is still firmly in the loop, guiding the AI, taking its outputs, testing them in real-world physical labs, and asking those absolute crucial why questions to build real knowledge.
Which brings us to a final, profound mystery to leave you with today. As we push deeper into this fifth paradigm of science, we really have to ask, can an advanced artificial system ever achieve true scientific understanding completely autonomously? Will an AI one day learn to climb that ladder of causality all on its own, not just predicting the universe, but truly comprehending it the exact way humans do? It's a fascinating question, and one that will undoubtedly define the very future of human discovery. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning everything.